All right, y'all. This is Black Ink Crew New York. This is season 6, and this is the season finale. It picks up where it left off from last week with Mohammed showing up, the Hurricane Mohammed showing up, and running the muck up in the place before they went out to the club or whatever. And Donna is saying, how dare he talk to me like that? And I was trying to make it right, but he didn't want to hear it. So fuck him and all this other stuff. Blase, blase. And Ted was like, homeboy wasted a Miami trip coming all the way down here, just to confront Donna and everything. Which I told y'all last week, I didn't understand what was his plight on coming all the way down to Miami to say all of this shit that he had already said to her in that letter. You know what I'm saying? So, but Ted, he also says, but it is Donna's fault at the same time too, which it is, even though I felt like, Mohammed last week, he was doing a lot or whatever. Donna did fuck him over. She did fuck him over, and then on top of that, on top of her fucking him over, she fucked him over, publicly. You know what I'm saying? With that tape getting out there like that or whatever, she fucked him over publicly. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand him being upset. I understand him being mad and everything, but I just didn't understand him coming all the way down there just to do all of that when, like I said before, he already said everything that he had to say in that letter. But anyway, so after all that commotion, Sky, she decides to make a toast to Mohammed's feelings, Donna's good coochie, and Alex's busted lip. And then they head out to the club. So, they at the club, whatever, Donna is asking, how Alex is feeling and everything. And Alex, he's not feeling the whole party vibe, he pissed off because he got punched in his motherfucking lip, which, I could understand, you know what I'm saying? He not feeling the party vibe for real. Sees his little boo jank, and I don't even remember how I don't even remember if he said how he met her or whatever, but his little boo jank comes through to the club, and her name is Crystal. I said, ain't that his baby mama name? But no, it's not that Crystal. It's some other girl named Crystal that shows up to the club or whatever, and she's a pretty girl. Sky is giving her like this little test or whatever, asking her questions. We find out that she's a teacher. She only has one kid, and she's a Libra. And so Sky is impressed with her and everything. She wanted to stay, the girl wanted to stay longer, but she had to leave because, she had to get up the next morning for work or whatever, because, she's a teacher. So, he's walking her outside the club and everything, and is asking her, can we meet up tomorrow for a date or whatever? And she, she pretty much says, yeah, that's cool or whatever. So, the next day, everybody is sitting poolside. And, Sky is saying, how do y'all feel about, Caesar's new boo, the upgraded version of Kit or whatever. And Kit, I don't know where she was at, but she wasn't a part of this conversation. But, yeah, when she said the upgraded version of Kit, I was like, I don't know about all that. I mean, this girl, Crystal not ugly or nothing like that. Like I said, she's a beautiful girl. But I think her and Kit they about on the same level. They both are equally pretty, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all know Sky don't like Kit for real like that anyway. But anyways, so Sky tells them that her son Dez is coming later on and everything. And they like, oh, that's what's up or whatever. So then as she's making that announcement, Bay and Walt show up and everything. Everybody's excited to see them. Bay got the okay from her doctor. And, Walt, he finished doing whatever he had to do with his, with his photography and everything. So they want to catch some of that Miami sun too. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody decides that they're going to go to the beach. Everybody except for Sky, because Sky has to, stay at the house and wait for Dez to come and everything. So, everybody's at the beach, playing volleyball or whatever. And, Jada and Donna, they're sitting on the sand, on the towel or whatever, and they're having a conversation, and they like, Kid is so cute or whatever. And then Donna, that's when she goes into talking about some, I want to have an orgy with all the, with all the y'all, you and Kid and all this other stuff. And Jada, she like, girl, you can't have sex with everybody. You need to chill. And I said, I'm glad somebody said it. Even though Jada was one of the people that, did something with Donna, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, that's exactly what Muhammad was talking about. Like, you community vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't been single that long. You already talking about having orgies and all this other, foolishness or whatever. But anyway, so next thing you know, out of nowhere, Alex, he ends up passing out. He passed out. He can't breathe or whatever, and they all panicking and everything, trying to figure out what's wrong with him. He can't really talk to them to tell them exactly what's wrong with him and everything. And the ambulance, they come to get him or whatever, and they not really telling the crew nothing. They not really telling them, what's wrong with him or what hospital he's going to be at and everything. They just take him in the ambulance and they go on about their business. I'm like, well, damn, I would have felt some type of way too. It's like, we miles away from home and shit, and y'all just taking him to any old, hospital out here in Miami. We don't know the area like that, you know what I'm saying? So, I would have felt some type of way too if I was, the crew or whatever. But anyways, so back at the house, Dez finally shows up and everything, and Sky, she feels as though now that they're growing a bond in their mother and son relationship, that she can ask him questions, you know what I'm saying? So she asks him, does he have a girlfriend? And he's like, nah, but I got my eye on one girl or whatever. And she's like, okay, she go to your school or whatever. And Dez is like, well, she graduated already, like a year ago or whatever. And Sky is like, ain't no cougar bitch about to, be fucking around with my baby or whatever, this, that, and third. I'm like, Sky, she's only a year older than him. She's not a cougar. Okay, I'm just saying. But she's asking, like, if he done had sex already or whatever. And he's like, Mom, I'm not really trying to answer that question. You know what I'm saying? So, she decides that she wants to take him out, jet skiing, on some DJ Khaled type of shit. They get on the jet skis and, having a good time and everything. And then, we see Donna up in her room or whatever. She's calling, like, different hospitals, trying to find out, where Alex is at and everything. And she called one hospital, and they said that, they didn't have nobody by his name or whatever. So as she's attempting to call, like, another hospital or whatever, he comes into her room, and he's like, what's up, Donna, and everything. I was just like, well, damn, just coming out of nowhere and shit. But, he lets her know what happened. Basically, he had like a mini heart attack or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, and he only 25 or whatever. At least, at this time he was only 25. And he says that, because she wasn't understanding, like, what you mean a mini heart attack, you only 25. So, he tells her, I have 2 holes in my heart. And they were supposed to close up when I was a kid, but they never did. And I was just like, oh my God, and he was saying that the left side of his heart is bigger than the right side. And he was saying that he was supposed to get surgery at 18, but, he never did or whatever. And now he's 25, and pretty much he can't keep on putting this surgery off. Otherwise, he might not make it the next time. He was saying that this wasn't like his first episode of having issues, with his heart or whatever. But I guess this time was like more drastic for him. So she offers for him to, stay in her room or whatever, so, she could watch over him and everything. And of course he's, excited about that or whatever. And he's like, just don't touch me though, because I ain't trying to, you already know how I feel about you. I ain't trying to get excited and end up having another mini heart attack or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, the rest of the crew, they're downstairs and everything, and they get a greeting from Sky and Dez or whatever. She's introducing Dez to the crew and everything, and C's is like, nice to meet you, Dez, or whatever, but I can't really talk to you long because I have a date later on tonight. So later on that night, Crystal arrives to the mansion or whatever for her and C's date. And and she's ringing the doorbell. They all run to the door, trying to be childish or whatnot. Dez, he ends up getting the door and everything, and Walt starts asking her 1,000,001 questions, trying to touch on her and stuff, and she's like, man, if you don't move, and he takes her to the back or whatever, where he has this yacht for them to, get on and everything. And they following him to the back too, and, embarrassing him and whatnot. And, as they're on the yacht or whatever, they're talking about, talking about different things, like her being the teacher or whatever. And, pretty much she's letting him know that, listen, I know that you got other girls that you be dating and stuff like that, but I'm just let you know, I ain't the one to play with. Like, I don't got time for the games. I don't got time for the bullshit. She let him know. Simple as that. So, back at the house, Sky, she invited some Haitians over from Little Haiti or whatever. And I had put in my notes, Sky invited some Haitians over. And when I look back up at my computer screen, I said, "Oh, she invited more than some. She invited more than some. She had a lot of them there, or whatever, And she wants her and Dez to get in touch with their Haitian roots and everything. And so she tells them Dez's name or whatever, and his name pretty much means like a warrior or something like that. And so they supposed to be doing like this little ceremony thing, like out back by the pool or whatever. And one of the ladies was saying that she was going to call a spirit to the island or whatever. So she starts drinking some wine or whatever, and then she spits it out. And she does this more than once, and I was even kind of looking like, I was looking a little perplexed. But then she pours some of the wine on Sky's feet and everything. And then some of the other girls, they come out and, they start dancing and everything. And then the crew starts to dance with them as well. And everybody's just having a good time. So after all that, Sky is in her room. Dez comes in to, check on her and everything. And, they just talking about how they're just happy to be in each other's lives or whatever. And, Sky just wishes that Genesis was there. And, she starts to get emotional and everything. Dez is telling her, he'll come around, Ma, or whatever. And, she's saying how proud she is of Dez, and Dez is proud of her as well, and they have a moment and everything, and that was that. Then we get to the next day. Cease decides that he wants to throw like a Scarface party, a Scarface theme party, in reference to the movie or whatever, for Crystal, since it's their last night or whatever before they leave and everything. And Dez, he's leaving, he says bye to, the crew or whatever. And, so later on that night, we have the party. And, everybody done put on their best, gangster, Tony Montana type of outfit on. And, Donna, she pulls Alex to the side and everything, and pretty much she starts to express that she has mutual feelings for him as well that he shared with her, in the last episode. And, saying how she was worried about him when he passed out on the beach like that or whatever. And I was just like, so you got feelings for another man that quick after you was just trying to... Yeah, Donna girl, see, this is why people be talking about you now. This is why people be talking about you, but whatever. So anyways, he's hyped to hear that, of course, and then they start kissing and everything. And then, back inside, Tati and Jada, they get into it and they start like fighting. I mean, like for real fighting. I ain't gonna lie, Jada was kicking Tati's ass, Everybody's confused, like how I was at first. And, Kev, he goes to where Jada is at, and he's like, what the fuck was all that, Jada? Like, Jada, like, what's going on here? Jada is mad because Tati was dancing on Ted and everything. And Kev is like, okay, and your point is. And Jada is like, we've been talking on the low since the ski trip and everything, which was 8 weeks ago, during the show. And which is not surprising, especially the way that she was acting when she got mad because Teddy didn't check Sky or whatever. Y'all remember that episode where she was popping off on Teddy because Teddy wasn't checking Sky or whatever, so I'm not surprised that they was still messing around or whatever. But she was saying how he act one way when nobody's around and then switch up when people are around. And I'm like, girl, have you not been watching Bondi Blue since season 1? She been telling everybody Teddy loves the bitches and the bitches love Teddy. Okay, like that's just, you gonna fuck around with Teddy, that's what comes with the territory, okay? I mean, I'm just saying. But anyways, so I don't know why you're surprised. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so Ted comes outside or whatever, and he's like, yo, what is going on with you? Like, why did you beat up Tati like that? And Jada was like, you lucky it wasn't you. And I'ma say this, like, it should have been Teddy, Jada, because you was kind of being on some bird shit coming at Tati, and Tati didn't even know that y'all two was fucking around, let alone anybody else in the shop, because y'all was keeping it on the low. So how you gonna get mad at Tati and put hands on her when she didn't even fucking know? Who you should have been confronting was Teddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of fucked up for you to do that. Y'all keep on pouncing on that girl and shit. But anyways, so she starts getting emotional, saying, like, you're not about to keep on playing me and leading me on and all this other stuff. And Ted is like, you the one who wanted to keep this shit a secret or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He felt like that, he just thought that they was friends with benefits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, that was that, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's over him. She's, done with him because ever since they've been there, he's been all up on Tati and everything, this, that, and the third. Whatever. So we get back to the party. See Sky and Alex, they're talking and everything. And, Sky is like, I saw you with Donna or whatever, and, what's going on with that? And, Alex is like, listen, I don't want to jinx nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just keep quiet for right now. And C's is like, well, I mean, I don't know how far that situation is going to go, but, hey. So Sky is like, Donna is a good girl. She's just misunderstood. And C's, I was with C's, yeah, way misunderstood. Way far out there, misunderstood, okay? But anyways, so C's, he gets a call from his lawyer or whatever, and he's acting like it's some bad news that's about to erupt. And he goes downstairs and gathers everybody around to talk about what happened. And I already knew he was going to say that they beat the case or whatever, because it was no way that he was going to have everybody at the party up in his business. Like, he would have just grabbed the crew up and took them somewhere and told them what was going on. But the fact that he gathered everybody at the party, I was like, yeah, I already know they beat the case. And that's exactly what that's exactly what he said, that they beat the case or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Black Ink ain't getting shut down, whatever. So that was the season finale, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all come back, and I'll see y'all in the next video.